Republicans recently blocked the nationwide right to in vitro fertilization. It's the second time they've done so. You voted against it.
Okay, well, listen, that bill would have gone way further than in vitro fertilization. Here is the fact. Nobody in any of the 50 states or territories, no woman has any problem getting in vitro fertilization. It is a myth, and it's being distorted. We really ought to be talking about the issues. And what I liked about the Dobbs decision is, as a matter of constitutional law, it is absolutely fact that babies in their 8th and 9th months were being aborted and killed after they already could feel pain, after they could survive outside the womb. That was a problem. And there's not a single European country that allows late-term abortions like that. And they don't have all this distortion and making up a parade of horribles over there. Most European allies of ours, who are much more liberal in their thought than we are, they prohibit abortion after about 15 weeks or so. And it's not an outrage over there. It's accepted by the people. At a certain point, that embryo can live outside the womb. At a certain point, that embryo is a baby that can feel pain. And it really approaches infanticide to say you can take that life then. That's the issue. And I noticed the other night in the debate, Governor Walz he would not admit that those types of abortions are going on and were legal, and I guess still are legal in Minnesota, but they are. And so I think those of us that are pro-life, and I've been very pro-life for 40 years, I think those of us that are pro-life know what the real issue is. And it's late-term abortions, pain-capable babies being killed in the mother's womb. People who have trouble conceiving, and I've had family members with that, it's a myth to say they cannot get in vitro fertilization.
Republicans last month blocked a nationwide right to in vitro fertilization. It's the second time that they've done it this year. What is your position on this issue?
Since I started this campaign, I have been leading with the importance of women making their own health care decisions. And I think what's happened is Republicans have shown that they do not support a woman making her own health care decisions. One, Donald Trump told us that he was gonna nominate 3 Supreme Court justices for one specific reason. One specific reason, to overturn Roe v. Wade, and he made that nomination. Then he passed those 3 Supreme Court justices to the United States Senate to be confirmed. Senator Wicker confirmed all 3 of those Supreme Court justices, and they went to the Supreme Court and they overturned Roe v. Wade. The result of that, a few years ago, we had a 13-year-old child right here in Mississippi that got pregnant because of a rape. And now that child has given birth to a child. So that's one end of the spectrum. On the other end of the spectrum, Senator Wicker just voted against protecting IVF treatment. So you mean to tell me that Senator Wicker thinks he knows so much better so you mean to tell me that on one end of the spectrum, Senator Wicker feels like as a man, he knows more about a woman's body than a woman does, that if a woman is a victim of rape, incest, and the life of she and or her child are at risk, that she and her doctor don't get to make that decision with regard to whether or not she terminate that pregnancy on this end of the spectrum. And on the other end of the spectrum, he just voted against IVF treatment, which means that if a woman has a problem getting pregnant, but she wants to start a family, he wants to control that also. That's the entire spectrum of womanhood, IVF or abortion treatment. So here's my stance. One, I can't get pregnant. It might sound funny, I'm a man. Can't do it, it's biologically impossible. Two, I can't carry a child in my stomach and I can't give birth to a child. Therefore, three, as a man, I'm not qualified to tell a woman what to do with her body. That should be between that woman, her doctor, and God.